So starting off, one of the biggest places that insights and analytics really sit in is this reports tab here. And there's a ton of different things within reports to go over. The first page you get here is this database overview. This tells you how many contacts you have. Of those, how many are contacts and how many are leads. And then this database health score is also here, which I find extremely useful. This just tells you how many people in your database itself actually have these things. You can see a lot of our people in our database with the Desurics have a ton of addresses. We don't have as many phone numbers. So that's something we need to work on. And then if you scroll down a little bit here, this database activity score, basically whenever you record any information as an activity in command, whether you log a call or you log a text or anything like that, where you're going through and doing your daily calls or doing your quarterly call plans, as long as you log it in command, it'll check it here and track it here and tell you how many we've been reaching out to. Right now, I don't have the Desurics logging calls, as you can see, from 99% not being reached out in the past 90 days. But you can see like SMS, email, calendar, calls, notes, and we'll go over email connections in a little bit. But essentially, if you send them emails, this also counts as a connection as well. And with both of these, you can compare to other people in your market center, in your state, people in the top production bracket, things like that. So you can see how you are faring in relation to other people. Last thing on this page is this lead sources tab here. This is great if you're doing a lot of lead generation with Facebook lead ads or other things like that. This just tells you where your leads are coming from. You can set it to today, yesterday, all the way through this year. And then sources and cities, you can do either of those, which this is a super useful thing if you're ever doing Facebook advertising, just to see which cities are working, which ones aren't. And you can see most of ours are import. So yeah, moving on to this reports page. This can give you reports on team members in your team, or it can give you reports on opportunities that are being created. So this could be great for both a solo agent where you can see how many reports you have or how many opportunities you're having, how many like new ones are there, how many are total, all things like that. And for higher level teams, you can see how many individual opportunities Alex is doing versus how many is Ben doing versus how many is Jacob providing. So you can see there for all team members, you can also just pick an individual person and then customize it for this month, last month, or year to date. So you can see this year we've imported 1,400 contacts. We've gotten total buyer opportunities 132. Since then, we've had 101, and then 53 new listing opportunities as well since then. Yeah, you can export all that data here too, just by hitting export. I believe that just exports it into a spreadsheet. Yep, PDF or CSV right there. And that's pretty much everything for the reports tab. Moving on to goals. So the first thing to note here is the way that you set up your goals for tracking, because there is a setup portion of this. So you head into reports right here, go to goals, and then hit this blue button on the right, goals settings. And this will take you through one of the Kelly guides to set everything up. It's basically a step-by-step guide. It asks you how much money you want to make, which year you're setting it for, all that kind of stuff. Some notes for this. Typically, the profit model that Keller Williams uses, and this is in the MREA, is 30-30-40. And what that means is 30% of your revenue, for you that'll be gross commission income, goes to expenses, which are going to be things like lead generation, salaries, paying rent if you have a thing in the office, any licensing expenditures you have. These are fixed expenses that don't change no matter how much money you make. And then there's cost of sale. So you can see there for teams, that'll be things like splits to agents, ISAs, things like that. This also includes things like photography for listings, or if you pay for any other inspections or anything else related to a file, as long as it is a file specific thing that is in the cost of sale. And then the 40% is that profit. So typically, if you're thinking, well, how much money do I want to make this year? Try and keep that in mind for the 30-30-40. Obviously, as a smaller agent, solo agent, or you're just having an assistant, these numbers might be a little bit different, but it's a great place to start if you don't really have anywhere to base that off of. And that'll just take you through all the steps with like conversion rates, how many leads you'll need, all that kind of stuff. So if you ever don't have exact numbers, you can always refer to the MREA for some basic numbers to look at. Or even you can just do what I've been doing is I kind of just start us at the appointment set part here. Because leads, you can see, like, because of the way the numbers work out, we need 100,000 leads coming in, which is not really feasible. So I more so just did it from the appointment set to the closed units phase. And that tells me how many appointments we need to be setting and everything. I also set these ages ago, so they're not exactly accurate, but This is something where you kind of just use the pieces that you like to use. Other big things to note on this goals page. So goals versus actual, you can see how many leads you need, how many contacts you need, appointments set, kept, agreements, all that stuff. This is all automatically tracked through opportunities and through contacts. So any leads you have come in through, say your biggest lead generation is Facebook advertising. Every lead that comes in is tracked right here on this leads thing. And then the percentage of those that's converted to contacts, which is something that you'll do manually as you're going through and talking to those new leads, happens right here. And this measures your entire database, I believe. Appointments set, that's just how many appointment opportunities you're creating and adding to command. Appointments kept, same thing, it's appointments moving from that set to kept area. Agreements is people moved into the next stage of the opportunity, under contract, and closed units after that. So you can see really the only things we're tracking in opportunities at the moment, which I am moving forward on changing, is just under contract and closed. Right under, and you can see you can customize for individual team members, for the month or the year, all that kind of stuff. You can also compare to other people, all that kind of stuff. Next, you've got this profit tracker under here. This basically is the very, very simplified look of, am I making enough money to meet my goal? It just tells you whether or not you're on track. You can see on track, on watch, or on alert. Right now, because we had a very good first half of the year, we are on track, even though our pending business is a little lower. Again, and if we had that information here, it might tell us things a little different. And I can tell you that for the month or the year, just based on how much you want to be making in the year. And then same thing with all of these, this GCI goal breakdown, you can see I did 30, 30, 40 for a total of 1 million GCI. You can alter that to be percentage values, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much everything in the goals page. Next is lead routing. So this is primarily for teams, or pretty much exclusively for teams. Whenever you're sending out leads from Facebook advertising or any other lead generation, how those are getting sent out. You can see what percentage of them are getting to appointments, what percentage are getting under contract, what percentage are getting to closed units, all that kind of stuff from here. So if you are working as a team, this can be a super useful resource to see where leads are coming from, where they're going, and whether or not anyone is converting anything. And you can see individual associates, you can see all this information about them. Going over this would take a while, but you know, everything from how many active leads they have, their speed to lead time, their appointments under contract and closed total. So you can see when you're giving leads to people, are they converting them? Are they making it happen? Is it working? And it's just a very nice, this lead routing page is a very nice top-down view of, are my agents converting leads? Are they making their calls? And if they are making their calls, why aren't they being logged? Things like that. Emails, so this is in regards to command email on those large scale email blasts, things like MailChimp. Basically, it just tells you of those, how many people are opening them, clicking on the links in them, replying to you, how many are undelivered or unsubscribed, and then how many are marked as spam. So this is a great tool for if you are doing email blasts in command. You can see all this information about basically what's happening with your info. And it's good to know because you can compare between email blasts or between months, how frequently your emails are getting clicked on, which titles are working, which titles aren't working, what time of day works best, things like that. So this is a great way to look at that. This monthly account usage. So what that is with command email, every agent gets 5,000 emails per month for free in the command email system. So we have that fee we pay every month for our tech fee. Included in that is 5,000 emails a month through command email. If you're looking to send more than that, you can upgrade your plan with this button here. It'll take you into the marketplace and you'll be able to purchase plans for more emails. But most people, and especially most solo agents, will probably just be using at a maximum of 5,000 per month. If you'd like, you can upgrade that. But yeah, that's all the information with that. Moving on to text and calls, this is all Twilio stuff. So with Twilio, the automatic text message sending and all things like that, this can just tell you which ones are getting sent, how many credits you have, some basic info there. So if you have Twilio, this is a great thing to just kind of get an overview of how things are working, what's happening, all that kind of stuff. And that's pretty much everything with the reports tab.